tell us all is it's a good thing that Vince Green is an attorney, and I am not in a singing career for a reason. Because I listen to myself and I go, wow, there's some real tone issues with me. But you know what? You wouldn't know it because we don't care. We sing anyway. So happy birthday, Tracy Turnberg. And keep complaining. I didn't know anything was different from your complaining. No, kid. You're awesome, man. Appreciate your friendship. Appreciate you being a part of the coach's corner, and more so than anything, I just appreciate your heart. Tracy's always there, willing to help. So, also, I got to give a big shout out to Mr. Dwight Owens. Dwight here, if everybody can see Mr. Dwight, Dwight's been in the hospital, and I got the honor of getting to go see Dwight yesterday. And Andrea Rosser fixed him up a big, nice care package, and we got to have a word of prayer together. And he just woke. He just told us this morning that there is no oxygen going on. He's not being hooked up to the oxygen machine this morning. So everybody give Mr. Dwight Owens a big shout out in the comments. God's good. God's good. All right. So our word for today, let me get to it. And I got to be quick now. Our word for today is compromise. Compromise. And so if you look at the definition, it's an agreement or a settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions. Have you ever compromised with somebody? When's the last time that you said, you know what? There's two sides to this. I don't have to be right, but we got to come together so that we can work together, so that we can live together, so that we can survive together. Whatever it is, like we got to compromise. And it's tough. It's tough to do when you're prideful. It's tough to do, you know. I think the devil sometimes puts things in us that just makes us not want to compromise. I'm right, you're wrong, and that's the end of the discussion. So I got all these words and things circulating with the word compromise in me. But if you look at, there's a quote that Donna Martini said that compromise is not about losing. It's not about losing. It's about deciding that the other person has just as much right to be happy to the end result as you do. You know? And but I shifted this morning and I went that when we're compromising, we've got to hold steadfast to what we will not compromise on. I was having a conversation with two gentlemen yesterday on compromising. And I believe that we got to hold steadfast to things that we just will not compromise on. And so I want to list a couple of them. One is, what's your values? Like TL has values. Vince Green has values. We all have values that we stand by, that it's the principles that we live by, you know? And I just think they're uncompromisable. Like we gotta hold true to our values, because if we give up our values, then what do we got? Apparently, we got a fire or something going on somewhere. So I don't know if you can hear that in the background. Another thing is our faith. You know, I say this a lot. You know, there's a lot of different faiths out there, but you've got yours, and it's got to be strong enough that you don't compromise it. Like you can put me in a room with people that don't believe the way I believe, and that's okay, but they won't waver my belief. They won't waver my belief. I know where everything comes from. Another thing is our friends and family. Man, this is one that I have compromised in my life. Your kids, your significant other. Like, can't be compromised. Big life's decisions. Like think about this. Like, for all you ladies out there, I can't fall into this category. But what about having babies? Like you think about it, and you want to have kids, you want to have baby. It's like, I can't compromise that. Like, I'm going to fulfill that, or what about hobbies, like passions that you got? Can't be compromised. Like I always say in the network marketing profession, you always know a true network marketer because it's went from their head to their heart. They love helping others. It just shows in every way. Like, they love working with people. They love, it's one reason I really love Tracy Turnberg, because he truly, the industry has went from his head to his heart, and he truly loves seeing people grow and flourish despite what team they're on. Doesn't matter. And so you can't compromise your physical and mental health. We have got to protect our dome every day. That's why the coach's corner is so big for me. But also the physical side. What am I going to do today to shake my body up to stay in physically great condition, right? Because I'm going to live to be 200. I mean, it's unbelievable. My goal. You can't compromise either yourself. Ultimately, you can't compromise yourself. Like, sometimes we're out fixing all these other things in life, and our one thing that we can't compromise ourselves is what gets laid by the wayside. We start to see our health deteriorate. We start to see our mental game deteriorate because I'm so worried about protecting and serving all the outside that I'm not serving the inside. So we got to protect ourselves. We can't have the compromise of ourselves. All right, Andrea, I'll turn it to you.
Well, this was a good one. And as I always say, so really, really enjoyed working on this one, Andrea, and creating it. And yeah.
Oh, before you start, okay, because I'll forget. Who was the two on social media that we picked yesterday that won the book, The Atomic Habit?
Well, those are great. That's a great question. And I know that one was Melissa Jackson. So great work there. And then the second one is, well, I'm going to mess up her name, but I've got Rainbow Love Carlita. So Carlita, I don't know your last name right this second, but I will find it.
Oh, Carlita. Yeah.
Carlita Weinberger.
Yeah, Weinberger.
Great job, Carlita.
Yes. Canadian family. We love her.
Yes.
Okay.
And Sandy McFarlane and Jane Rouse won on here. So
absolutely. Melissa Jackson, congratulations. All right. Okay. I'm ready. I'm sorry. Squirrel.
Okay. Now, all right. So the quote that I found was, learn the wisdom of compromise, or it's better to bend a little than to break. And all I can think about when I hear that is being a little girl. So my sister's a little bit older than me, the sister you guys don't know, and she's 9 years older. So she got married when she was 19. So I was like 10, and I would go to her house to visit, and she always had country love songs on, like always. And the one that I think about is Tanya Tucker, and talking about this tree in the background or the backyard. So I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but it's like this tree that was never broken by the wind. The reason it's still standing is because it was strong enough to bend. I'm not going to sing it because I know I can't sing, but I play that in my head so many times where I'm like, oh my goodness, do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? I want to be happy. So this might be a moment that I need to bend. So how, right? How do we compromise? So first of all, realize that we don't always have to be right. I think sometimes some of us, I'm raising my hand right here, can be a little bit of a perfectionist, and we can think that our action or our rightness is who we are. Like, we can't separate from a mistake to who we are as a person. realizing that behavior isn't necessarily the person. Like I can make a mistake, I can be wrong, and I can still be a decent person. So separating the right from who I am. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. Don't have to love it, but it's okay. Next is to let things go. Just like, is it Elsa that says, like, just let it go? It's in the past for a reason. So yeah, there could be hurts, there could be wrongs, there could be things there, but do the work inside to let that go so you can feel comfortable compromising with, in similar situations in the future. Next is rethink your expectations. So how important is this specific issue? If it's so important that you must stand your ground firmly, then do. But if it's not, figure out if you can wiggle a little bit, if you can give a little bit. Next, be willing to change. For some of us, I always have to raise my hand on the bad ones, but for some of us, change can be really, really difficult. But, sometimes we can actively be okay with changing, and that can be really important. So a major part of compromising is actually following through with that resolution to change. And next is share your emotions and your beliefs. So if you're in some kind of conflict, let's just pretend, right? It could be business, it could be personal, and you're working to compromise. You have to be vulnerable enough to share the whole picture. So we've got to share how we feel about it. We have to share our emotions. We've got to share all of it so that we can work together with the other human to create that compromise. Next is to show appreciation. So, if you are, Arlene and I are in a big, business negotiation and we're trying to figure something out. I don't know what it is, Arlene, but let's do it. But we're working on that, right? We need to show the other person appreciation that they're showing up at the table to compromise with us, that we're not just having to eat all this by ourselves, that they are working and negotiating with us. And then lastly, in order to compromise, we've got to keep an open mind. We only know what we know. And it's so funny because I don't know about you, but I walk around like every single day thinking that I'm right. Like I must know, not everything, but everything I think I know. I don't know if that even made sense, but I think that I am completely in the know about all the things that are in my realm. But you know what? I know like this much on this earth. So when I'm talking to Jane Rouse and she's giving me a completely different perspective, I need to have an open mind enough to realize, I have no clue about this, or my perceptions might be wrong. So I have to have an open enough mind to hear what she has to say in order to compromise and learn from it. So thank you for this one. Good lessons. Had to get a little vulnerable with you guys this morning. You get to hear all of my flaws. So love you so much for still being nice to me after all of it.
No, Andrea, thank you. And it's nice to have somebody that's always willing to speak from a humility and a humble heart. So thank you for that. Thanks for the lesson, guys. Happy Wednesday to you. Tracy Turnberg, happy birthday, buddy. We love you. And we hope you have an amazing day. And Dwight Owens, you continue getting better, buddy. You're going to be out running, slam dunking those basketballs for too much longer, right?
And singing to us. Man.
And singing to us. All right. Have a great day.
Love you guys. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
day.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.